Welcome to the Poundcast. Today we have our good friend, comedian, writer, author, turns out, Joe
Well,
Mande.
yeah, he does
And
a lot of things, you know.
we have a great chat with him. What did we talk about? I even forget. We had
We
a fun
talk
time.
about a lot of things, animals, and we talk about miners.
Oh yeah.
We talk about miners and animals, you know, and other things.
We talk about duck face and we talk about different other types of face, which you will see if you want to look at the other types of faces that we come up with. You're going to have to go to youtube.com/the Poundcast to see that. And we also go after dark with Joe and we come up with some new comedy bits. And if you want to listen to the After Dark bonus portion of this Poundcast, you got to go to patreon.com/Poundcast. Subscribe to us there. And it's simple as that. You can get instant access to all the Poundcast After Dark
Think about this.
episodes.
If you haven't done that yet, you've got a lot of stuff to get through. I mean, there's a lot of content on there to just get through.
Yeah. You also get access to the After Dark YouTube, of course.
Now, look.
Now, this week we are sponsored by LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. That's this Poundcast is sponsored by you, the viewers like you at home, who support us by going on Patreon, and LouisvilleVeganFoods.com, where you can get 20% off your entire order if you go to LouisvilleVeganFoods.com by just using the code word
Poundcast.
That's right, Brent. You knew it.
I'm way ahead of you, baby.
Now, Louisville Vegan Foods, what do they have? Pretty much the best jerky on earth. Louisville Vegan Jerky, which comes in lots of new flavors. And there's going to be some new flavors coming out, but we can't talk about that.
There's going to be a special
secret
flavor coming out just for us.
There might be a special flavor coming out,
but we're not going to say anything.
We can't get into that yet. LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Use the code word Poundcast. You can also get it at Sprouts. And you know, if you go to their website, it'll show you where it is available. Actually, you can find where you can buy it at a store near you if you don't want to order it and get 20% off by using the code word Poundcast.
I say it's better to order online, but hey, do what you want. But also,
hey. Of course it is, Brent.
But I'll just let you know this real quick though, that this stuff is bagged in the United States, and it has a shelf life of 9 months, and maybe soon to be more.
Really? Are they in the lab trying to get it to be longer?
They're getting approved to be longer soon.
That's that's exciting news.
That's exciting news on the
That's exciting news.
But you're not going to have to worry about that because that stuff isn't going to last 9 months anyway, because you're going to be gobbling it up.
Yeah, once you take one bite, once you get that package in the mail, ooh, this is my 20% off jerky. It's going to be gone.
It's gone in less than 9 weeks.
It's gone in less than 24 hours. Let's be honest.
It's gone in less than 9 hours.
Yeah, it's gone.
9 months? Who needs 9 months where you're going to eat that stuff up in less than 9 hours? 9 minutes even, probably.
That's what I'm trying to say, Brent.
You could probably eat the whole dang thing in 9 minutes, probably.
That's right, Brent.
I bet you could eat that whole thing in 9 minutes.
I bet you could.
Now, look. I told Hillary I'm going to get some LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. Get some, perfect pepperoni. And then I told Monica, for you, I'll get some, Carolina
monkey barbecue.
I don't know.
All right, let's get on with the show. We rapped enough. We've been rapping. We've been chatting.
Everybody's happy. Now look, every week we have a surplus of these, and it's so amazing that so many creative people, so many creative Patreon subscribers, what they do is they do remixes or covers of the Poundcast theme song. And
it is incredible, Brent, how many I think if you're a creative, interesting person, you belong on the Poundcast Patreon. You'll find a good community of talented, interesting, creative.
It's crazy to me how much talent there is out there.
It's crazy.
And we have a remix this week from someone who goes by Slap Iota,
Oh, really?
otherwise known as Sean Byron. And yeah, here it is.
Let's do it. And then we'll talk to Joe Mande. Ready?
Set,
Roll the clip.
roll the clip.
Okay, welcome to the Poundcast. We got Joe Mande as our guest today.
What's up?
What's up? You give us consent to film you.
Yes, I gave that before we started.
Okay, cool.
There's something that I stopped myself from talking about with Joe when he first came on, because I wanted to save it for when we actually started recording and after he gave us consent too. But Joe's wearing a jersey right now for people who are just listening.
Right.
He's wearing a jersey that says MSP on it, which is Minnesota. That's the Minnesota airport.
Minneapolis.
The Minneapolis airport, that is.
Yeah.
It's not. That's not a Timberwolves?
It is. It's a like an alternate Timberwolves jersey that I got last year.
Now, for years, I've been telling Joe that, because he's a big basketball fan and a Timberwolves fan, that his angle, style-wise, could be the basketball comedian. And what I mean by that is, he's a bright guy and has smart jokes and, kind of cerebral wit, and I'm thinking he could be doing that while also wearing this basketball jersey. I think that angle stylistically could be something kind of unique. And I'm thinking not just him, he's wearing a t-shirt right now. I would have liked to see, and I know it's kind of hot right now, but I would have liked to see you wear an Oxford shirt.
Right. Yes. For over 10 years, Brent's been telling me my look on stage should be Oxford shirt, like I guess jeans or khakis. I guess that's up to me. But then a basketball jersey.
Jersey. And then kind of almost like you're this kind of Spike Lee character in a way, like a Spike Lee kind of guy, or something like that. I don't know. I could just see that working for you is all.
Well, I thought I would test it out today now that we're on Zoom.
How's it look? I think you should go full basketball. Just straight up, just like a basketball player,
right?
And bring a ball.
Of basketball, yeah.
Bring a ball and instead of doing that thing where people are like, anyway, when people are supposed to be laughing, they go, you dribble,
like do some moves. Yeah.
You're just kind of you just casually go. You could say something like, I don't know, pretend this is one of your punchlines, You wouldn't say something like this, but you say, I thought Jeff Epstein killed himself.
Right.
You kind of dribble while they're supposed to be laughing.
Or you can do a thing where, how people do this, I call them artificial signalers, where they go, and they say that, signal the punchline. Instead of going, and or not that you necessarily do that or whatever, but
I think it's a bad habit I have. Yeah.
Oh, you do. Okay. Well, anyway, if you do that, instead of an you just hit that ball, you dribble that ball to signal the punchline instead, So just go like, and so then, and it turns out Epstein, it's more like Epstein, kadunk, or whatever the noises that a ball.
I mean, I'm loving all this Epstein material. I mean, I might use it. I feel like I should have a rack of balls, and after each joke, I
take a shot,
shoot it. Yeah, there's a hoop somewhere in the back.
Oh my god!
Set up a hoop. Yeah, set up a hoop on stage, like on the other side of the stage or behind the crowd.
Joe Hoops Mande. That could be your new thing, or just who? Oh yeah, we got hoops on the show tonight.
I mean, if I have a hoops on, so this is like a whole new angle. So yeah, hoops.
And I like, and you can use this Epstein stuff too. I mean, that's
I
a good
think I
one.
should. I think it should be only Epstein stuff, and then maybe a hoop. If depending on the venue, if I had a hoop like on stage with me, then I could like dunk between jokes. I
Oh
could
my
really
God,
open
dude.
this up.
If
Yeah.
I if you dunked, okay, first of all, no one has done this before. Okay, where
No.
you if you hit real hard with a punchline, that it's almost like your basketball shot is dependent on the audience reaction in a way. So if it
Right.
hits really hard, then you just go for the dunk. You obviously get a lower net or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and or hoop or whatever, and then you slam that in there, just like hardcore boom shakalaka, just hanging
Right.
on the net, hanging on
But
there.
if it's like a bad crowd, I'll like miss on purpose and
Yeah,
wear
you
Do
it.
air
And like,
balls. Yeah.
yeah,
airball,
just
airball.
like you guys got to step this up.
Exactly.
Hoops is here
It'll
tonight, and I'm not shooting any hoops.
right, and you know what? It's like it incentivizes them to laugh at the jokes, is they want to see bad shots. They want to see good shots.
Exactly. Yeah, of course. This is great.
This is a great. We got a really. And how about that one joke? I mean, Epstein, more like Epstein. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love this.
But actually, speaking of consent, well, anyway, all right, let's organically go there. But I have some.
Is that the beginning of the Epstein joke?
Well, I have
Speaking
some
of
ideas
consent.
about. It's funny because there was getting your consent to record. Then we've got this Epstein kind of thing, tomato kind of thing. You should do a duo act with like, LeBron James or something where, you say Epstein, he says Epstein, and you guys have like a whole duet and stuff.
Right, right. Then we play 1-on-1.
Or maybe somebody more gettable, not LeBron James. He's
Brent,
not.
what would be the setup if that's the punchline? Epstein, more like Epstein. Like, what's the setup to that joke? See if you can reverse engineer a.
Right. I know that's a great idea. I don't know. What is the reverse
I mean,
engineer of
it should
that?
have been like Epstein, more like Epps team, right, guys? Because we're on the same team with the basketball.
How about
playing.
this? Epstein, more like Epstein, because isn't he into teens? Is that how it
Yeah,
goes?
very famously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Epstein. And maybe he's a fan of Omar Epps as well. So you could be into Epps and teens, or like
Right.
Epstein.
More like Epstein.
Or maybe he was into Omar Epps when he was a teen.
Right.
In like maybe circa Juice or something like that.
Well, you know how there's the Harlem Globetrotters,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're they're a joke basketball team, but they do tricks. But then they have the Washington Generals. What if they should do that with every sport? They should have like a clown like football team.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, they just do tricks with they do football tricks. I don't know what that would look like. What would football tricks look like?
Oh, that's awesome!
They're like doing flips over the other team.
Or
Flips, yeah.
when they do the kickoff, the ball ends up being this like, or the football just it pops or something like that.
Right. It's a water balloon.
Yeah, it's a water
confetti.
balloon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. When they go for a pass, they catch it and it explodes, and it gets them drenched with maybe there's slime in it or something like that.
I don't think the Globetrotters did that. The ball was real, and they just did. They spun
Right.
spun it around, and they just did
A lot of
like
spinning.
moves.
A lot of
And the other
like,
team was just like confused, like what the hell happened?
Okay, well
Right,
here's an idea. So you have to use real equipment, I guess. You can't use props, right? But check this out. What if you start spinning the football on your finger like a basketball, and then also you can maybe dribble it, try to dribble it,
It's
Where
hard.
would they-
The
where would they
shape
be
makes it
from?
hard.
What's the city next to Minnesota?
Well, there's
St. Paul.
yeah, St. Paul. That's where I'm from, Minneapolis. Then there's like Edina or like Lake Minnetonka.
Well, dude, like
Egan.
instead of the Harlem.
Right.
Harlem's a neighborhood, though, huh?
Right. So yeah, I mean,
What's a neighborhood
could-
in Minnesota? Because I'm thinking maybe football is more like a Midwest.
right. We could do like
Their
Uptown,
Globetrotters would be in the Midwest.
Dinkytown,
Dinkytown?
Dinkytown. Yeah.
The Dinkytown Grid Blasters. know?
Yeah.
That's good. I was gonna say the Dinkytown World Warriors. Because like Globetrot, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's good though. I like grid blasters more though. That's good. Yeah.
what is it called when you have like the TSA for like world travel, like global elite?
Global entry or something like that.
Yeah,
Global entry.
the Dinkytown global enterers.
The global enterers.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue. It's good.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it rolls
it's
off-
like choreographed football, right? So some running back gets the ball from like way back at like the 1 yard line, and he's just running through the other team, and he just does these fake outs and flips and backflips and spins, and the other team, it's like all planned out, you know? They're all just like they're getting spun around and being like, "Where did he go?" And and they fall over each other. That would just be fun to watch choreographed sports, where
It
they
would be
plan
great.
it
Yeah.
out like ahead
I
of
know we're
time.
not supposed to have props, but like it could be funny if like everyone's chasing that guy because he's running towards the end zone, and then he gets to the 1 yard line, and then he shows them he's holding like a turkey or something, and then there's a guy way in the back with like the real football who's just like strutting in. Like you
Yeah.
could do a
Got it.
whole mislead.
I've got so many thoughts. Well, first
He's
of all,
like, I got the real ball. And then,
Well,
they already kind of do magic tricks in football. They're like, they act like they're handing it off to a guy, and he goes like
Mhm.
this, and he starts running, and they're like, they go after him. He's like, I don't have it.
Right. Right.
They do-
So let's
isn't
just
that
bring
funny?
that
They
to
do
its
magic.
maximum ladder.
Yeah, they do more magic in this league.
well, two things come to mind is the movie Horse Feathers, the Marx Brothers movie Horse Feathers has a football sequence that's, sounds kind of like what we're talking about here. And also what comes to mind is, the idea of a scripted game, or for all sports, choreographed games, which is even a step further than the Harlem Globetrotters, which they have bits they do probably, but I don't know how, I don't know if they're how scripted that those shows are, but then I started thinking to myself, what if sports, basketball, football, baseball became like wrestling, professional wrestling?
That's what I'm getting at here.
Yeah, where it's you've got characters and stuff, and I mean you have characters in sports now.
It's called professional football. You know how it's like you got wrestling, and then you got professional wrestling.
professional basketball. You have
Professional basketball. Oh, I
Yeah.
do. I'm an athlete. I do professional basketball.
And they say, "Oh, that's all fake." He's like, "Well, no, we still get hurt.
No, I mean,
Yeah, we still get hurt.
We still dribble and stuff. We still dunk. It's like."
Still
But
dunk.
imagine if that would be so kind of interesting if sports became all just just fully just sports entertainment.
Well, it is entertainment already, but I know what you're saying. Fake.
But like good guys and bad guys and like narratives. Yeah, if they like really committed to storylines and stuff, I think that would help bring a new audience in.
I mean, Dennis Rodman, I feel like was onto that at one point, with,
Yeah.
because he kind of had he had sort of a, almost like he had a costume almost, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, it was like exciting to see how he was going to dye his hair next and stuff.
Yeah.
He kept people guessing. Yeah.
What about reality football?
What happens in that?
It's just like they're mic'd up, and it's all just they're just yelling at each other and like, I fucking gave you the ball, man, and you didn't run with it. I thought you had my back. It's just
I think that football would be good for that because like they're always in huddles, so you
Yeah,
get a lot of
it's all the
content
huddles
of
and
them,
stuff.
like yelling at each other. You could do testimonials whenever they like
yeah.
look at
That'd
instant
actually
replays
be-
and stuff.
That's really an interesting idea.
Yeah, I thought Bradley was gonna throw me the ball,
Mhm.
and I was
messed up.
wide open, and it just cuts to him going like,
That's actually,
and then
this
it cuts
is
to
totally-
it cuts to Bradley, and he's just like,
He's
not
like
throwing
staring
it to
at a
him.
girl, and he's like, "This always happens." He's always,
Yeah.
doesn't care about football. He's always looking at the girls. You envy the girl. What's her deal?
Yeah, and then talk to her, and he's
Mhm.
like, he can have the girl after the game. Why does he
Right.
can't play the game?
Can't
during the game?
focus.
This is a really good idea, by the way, that I think could work. I mean, this is something I think people would be into, is if everyone was mocked,
Well, there's an HBO reality show, but about like NFL football, but it's always like the preseason.
Oh, I'm not even saying needs to be a reality show, but what if the games, the regular broadcast games, were just everybody's mic'd? I know in baseball you can't. Well, I guess certain people couldn't be mic'd because they can't tell you can't hear what their plan is going to be. I guess football wouldn't work. Right? Actually, none of the sports would work in a way, but it'd be kind of neat to hear what people are saying under their breath and stuff. You know, you ever
see why not? I think it would just to be, there would be discretion with the producers not to let that sound, that info out until they're done with the game. They can edit all the footage. I think it would work.
I mean, just imagine you hearing somebody if they're about to get tackled going, "Oh shit," or something like that. You seeing it come, and then or like, there was I thought that would be kind of interesting, or just hearing people saying stuff like hut 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 hut, just hearing them say these weird, this lingo that you hear all the time,
You can hear that a lot of the time. You can hear some of that.
Well,
yeah.
But imagine hearing it intimately, And you know what? Maybe what kind of cool is everybody had their own speakers on, so it's like they don't even have to yell hut anymore. They could just go hut 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 hut.
Oh, they got mics.
Hut. Yeah, they go.
Yeah.
Hut. Be hut. So that's a good idea, man. I think we should get that going. That's a multi-million-dollar idea, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that last idea sounded more like an ASMR version of football, just like very relaxed and kind of whispery. That's a different vibe for sure.
Do you like football? Probably not, right?
No, I stopped watching football years ago.
I mean, you're just a basketball guy only.
Basically, yeah, one sport guy.
Right.
Although I get into soccer like once every 4 years or whatever.
Oh, really?
I like World Cup soccer. Yeah.
Did you play? You played soccer too, probably.
No, I specifically only played basketball, and my parents, who could foresee that I was never going to be taller than 5'9", kept trying to push me into soccer, and I just refused.
It's really what's crazy about Joe is that when he's sitting down, he seems shorter. He seems he would not be that tall of a guy, but he's tall actually. He's pretty tall. I mean, 5'9" is it's taller than me.
Well, compared to me, you're pretty tall. You're taller.
Yeah. Okay. Guy. Yeah, I'm a tall guy on this podcast.
You read like a sort of shorter kind of guy, or like small guy.
I have a small guy vibe. Yeah.
You read like a small guy.
No, I mean no, I'm a small guy. We're all small guys, But
for yourself.
When you're
Speak for yourself, not me.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not to say you're not swole, Doug.
Thank you.
You're small and swole. Is that not possible? It's like you can be small but tight also, what I'm saying is when you see Joe standing up or you're standing next to him, you're kind of looking up and you're thinking, oh, damn, I didn't know it was like that.
Right. I mean, that's why I do stand-up comedy. I just need people to know that I'm taller than they think. So I got to put that on public display,
Right. That's why, dude, if you start dunking on these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, Brent, maybe me and Joe should come up with a way to punch up your show,
Okay, well, we can do that. And then also I've got a stand-up act. I mean, not a stand-up act, a stand-up bit that I kind of want to workshop with you guys on this podcast.
Please.
But okay, you want to try to punch up you want to try to figure out.
Well, is there a sport that you particularly like that you could devote some stage time to, some stagecraft?
The sport that I
or a pastime.
The sport that I used to do in high school was tennis, so that's sort of my sport is tennis in a way, although I'm not even probably that great, but I played basketball a little bit, and
well, no, Joe's the basketball guy. You can't do that.
I know. I can't. I know. I don't want to step on it. He's the basketball comedian.
You could.
It would be very funny but it would be very funny if I committed to this and then you did an identical thing like that, and then we were just like competing hoops comics.
We could do it as a tour, though. I mean, or it could join forces and make it
join forces, open
like that.
That way, you have the net. The hoop is out.
It's already there, right?
Or you can do one-on-one.
It's called one-on-one. The tour is called
one-on-one, and then like one guy tells a joke, and then the other guy tells a joke.
Oh,
And you go back and you pass the ball, like you check the ball to each
oh,
other.
your shots are dependent on how
Yeah.
well jokes do. So it's like,
Well, if we're both on stage and I'm like, hey, Brent, have you heard about this Jeff Epstein guy? And you're like, oh, I thought it was Jeff Epstein. And then it's just like a full like one-on-one basketball game for like, I don't know, first one to 11 or whatever. Then we go back to the mics and do another joke.
yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
I love the idea of dunking after a joke. That sounds so awesome. I mean, imagine if you could dunk after every joke. That's just what a power trip that would
Or
be.
what if, there's basketball net over each audience member? Each member has a hoop over their head.
Yeah.
Someone heckles, you dunk on them. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I love. Well, you don't even they don't even need to heckle. Just get a soft ball. Just like a plush kind of basketball. One of
No,
those.
you got to do a full professional ball.
Imagine if they could wear. Imagine if you could really do this. Realistically, you have them wear hats. That everyone has to wear a hat that has a little basket on it or net on it, and you have these soft toy basketballs, and then you just do a joke for each person. And just go Epstein, more like Epstein, and you just dunk the ball as you.
Oh, one dunk per each audience member.
They all get their own joke that they get to.
This is interesting. So you don't even need like a venue. Like you could just be like the hoops show tonight, like in like the Vaughn's parking lot, and then people just line up with these stupid hats on, and then one by one you just do a joke and dunk.
Dude, why don't you just meet at a park where they have hoops?
Yeah,
like at Poinsettia Park or whatever.
Yeah.
Or how about this? What about you do a comedy special, and there's only one audience member? Okay. Let's say it's somebody like Jeremy Levenbach or something like that,
Okay.
And the reason I say him is because I went Moshe Kasher and my friend Alex Cole, the three of us did a sketch show for just him only, and we did like a half-hour sketch comedy show for him only in a hotel room. It was a legendary performance, but you get one guy sitting there, and he's got the net on him. And you just dunk every joke on the same guy, and he's gonna be laughing too, But that's the whole special right there. That would be an awesome basketball special.
Or what about this? Comedy teams, right? So you got 2 basketball teams, right? But they're all comedians. How many players are on a basketball team? 9?
5 on each. Well,
5.
That are on the court is 5. Yeah.
On the court.
There's 12 on the team. Yeah.
Okay, 5 on 5, right?
Yeah.
So whoever has the ball, they have to like. The other team can't come up and like steal it. They get the ball, they're dribbling it, right? If they do their bit, if they get a laugh, then they get a point. The ball kind of goes in the hoop. And then they get the ball back. And then if the joke does shitty, the other team gets a chance to get a point.
Right. So it is like proper park rules. Like pickup game rules. I love this.
Yeah.
Should I show Joe that picture that was sent to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got to show everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to show everybody. Doug.
Look, this is coming in from the Discord.
Doug sent me this photo like about 10 minutes ago, and I kind of laughed at it and didn't really call attention to it except for laughing at it. But I thought I'm thinking that, if you do this whole basketball thing, you wear the jersey on top, and then maybe you could wear this on the bottom, I think, Hold on a second. I'm about to share. This is, if you want to see this, just check it out on youtube.com/Poundcast if you're listening.
I got more on the Discord that people have been posting all these crazy underwears.
Oh, wow.
So you could wear the jersey on top and then just this on the bottom,
It's going to be hard. I mean, yeah. You're supposed to chuck your jersey in, so it's going to be interesting to try to
is it kind of long? Well, maybe you might have to roll it up a little bit. Or
that
take the bottom and then put it up through the
force as much as you can in, but I think that'll work.
You can tuck the jersey into as much as you can on that.
Yeah.
For the listener,
I wonder if a guy wore this, is that indecent?
Okay, well, let me just describe it to the listeners. It's what it is it's basically a kind of underwear, I guess, but it's basically a sack that.
Well, it's like a coin purse for your dick.
Your balls go in there too. It looks like
the balls go in there too.
All your genitals go into this little sack, basically.
That is a good question. If this is indecent,
it's very neatly all put together in this sack. And there's a drawstring on it as well that can kind of tie it tight so it won't be slipping off anytime soon. And so, well, that's a pretty interesting thing. But I'd love to see you tuck a jersey into that thing.
Thank you.
Like you can wear you can wear a thong, right, in public, which is basically for the butt. The full butt's showing. There's just a tiny little strap.
Right.
That, depending on what your butt looks like, it can go in the cheeks. So it's basically, if you got the right kind of butt, you can be fully butts out on the back.
Oh yeah, right. So what's the difference?
Sorry, officer, I'm wearing a thong, and then you kind of spread the cheeks. You're like, he's like, oh, okay, there is a.
Oh yeah, I see the little string.
There's a little nano strand back there, so you're not arrested. Let me see the front. He turns you around, and you got that in the front. You know.
Oh, look, I don't want to
do.
I don't really want to totally derail the organic flow of this conversation.
Yeah.
But there's the thing. I had this thing that I kind of wouldn't. This is not a bit, but I have this new system about consent, though. This new underage.
Please do, because to be honest, I kind of had. We usually do our show on Thursday, and I had to do another podcast this morning, so I came in without much. Usually I have a week of thoughts to talk about, and I had nothing today. But
I've got stuff I've been brewing.
So if you got some stuff, let it rip. That's fine.
Let me get you in on this. All right. This is not even. I don't even know if this is really. I don't think this is even funny. I think this is just sensible. This is just a sensible thought that you can weigh in on, and maybe it will become funny. But so, okay, I was thinking about age of consent, and how I think it's kind of weird. Okay, basically, I've developed a new system for underage situations. Okay. Okay, here's what I mean. I think it's kind of weird how the difference between 17 and 18 seems really negligible to me. It seems kind of arbitrary, and it doesn't seem. I think it's weird how if somebody has a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, an underage person, that's a big problem, and it's illegal, and it's not, but if they're just a year older, if they're just 18, okay, it's fine, it's all good. There's not, and I mean, some people do think it's weird if an older person, it does go with an 18-year-old, but it's not as bad as if it's 17. But that difference to me seems like, what's the difference almost between 17 and 18, right? So I have this new system that I've developed, and I'm actually going to bring up a document because I
what's it called? The Brent Weinbach consent system?
Something like that.
You want to have your name attached to it, kind of like the Bristol stool chart?
No, I think it's now. I just think it's a better system. I made a chart. So basically, Dewey Decimal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Show us the chart.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me describe it for you first, and then I'll let me describe it, and then I'll share it. Okay. So first of all, it's sort of, some states kind of have it, are in the right direction with this, where, okay, as you know, some states the age of consent is 16, right? And some states the age of consent is 17. But there's also these stipulations in certain states where the age of consent can be, or 14 or 15 can be legal if the other person isn't more than 3 years older or something like that, right? So for example, 15 can be legal if the person isn't over 19 years old or something like that. There are these stipulations, and that's kind of the right direction. But see, for me, the system I'm developing is that, okay, the way it is in California and in a lot of places is, as soon as you're 18, boom, balls out. There can be sexual relations with anybody of any age or whatever. I mean, that's older. I think there should be more of a gradual kind of like waning into that, So what I mean by that is this: those stipulations should come into play Okay. So I'm suggesting make the fully legal age be 25. Okay. When somebody is at age when they're more of an adult than 18.
Well, like, yeah, you can rent a car. If you can rent
Yeah,
a
you
car,
can
you
rent a
can have
car at
sex.
25.
Yeah.
You're gonna make maybe better judgment calls when you're 25 than you are when you're 18. So make 25 the full blown. You can go with anybody you want, all right? Or an older person can go with it 25. It
Right.
doesn't matter how old you are.
25 is the new 18.
That's the new 18. But then what about the previous ages? Check this out. This is a great, I think the math works out so perfectly in this too. Okay. We're going to start at 16. 16 is legal but only if the person is not older than 18. Okay. So if you're 18, you can have sexual relations with a 16-year-old. That's it. That's the max. Okay. Then for 17, the age range bumped up a year. So 17 is legal.
Right, I think we get it. It's a sliding scale. You're getting way too detailed with this. I think we get the idea, right?
Look,
is there anything we're missing here?
So the buffer
I like how you have a whole chart here.
Here's the chart. Is basically the buffer starts getting longer and longer. So it's at 17. So you're legal, but the other person can't be older than 20, and it gets bigger by a year every. The age range increases a year every time the person gets older. So by the time you're 24, 24 is legal if the other person is not older than 34. Okay. And 25, whatever, anything goes at 25.
Brian, I have a better system for you. Okay. Yours is called a better system. Mine's called an even better system. All right.
Okay.
My even better system is, say someone's 16, right? And they want to get together with someone that's 19. But the person that's 19 only has 10 pubic hairs. But the person that's 16 has 20 pubic hairs.
Has the full bush.
Yeah. So as long as you can go younger if you have less pubic hairs. You know what I mean? So if you're deeper into puberty, the number of how old you are, it's all about how many pubes. You got to count up the pubes.
But what if you shave your pubes?
Well, that's the problem. Then you can go to
then
jail pretty easily.
You're not allowed to shave. It's illegal to shave until you're 25.
Don't shave until you're 25.
You can't shave until you're 25.
You shouldn't, right? I mean, unless you're wildly limiting your sexual partner.
Yeah.
But truth be told, though, don't you think that that's kind of a better plan than it's that, you kind of wane them into it so that it's not just like, oh, all of a sudden a 50-year-old could go have a sexual relationship with an 18-year-old, because that's basically the same thing as the 50-year-old having a sexual relationship with
that's an interesting. That should be just as illegal as
it sounds
the other way around. It's just as upsetting.
I'm just saying 18 and 17, what's the difference? I'm saying make it a gradual thing until they're 25 and then do that. I also kind of was thinking people shouldn't be able to join the military until they're 25. What do you think about that?
I don't think people should join the military.
Well, sure, but I mean, just that
they should never join the military.
Actually, it would be funny if it was like you can join once you're like 63. Like if everyone was like really old, that'd be like I would enjoy that.
That'd be awesome. It's just that to give kids that are 18, have them be using guns and stuff, or who knows what kind of psychological effects it might have on them at that age. I mean, even older, it's going to have weird effects on them. But that's such a young age, 18, to be going off and killing people and stuff, and just
what I like about your system is that it's not one-sided. That like the younger person has just as much of an ability to they're just as concerned about their person's age. That's part of the legality too. It goes both ways. So like
Brent, I have a question for you. I know it started at 16, but what if God forbid 2 15-year-olds had sex? Are they going to jail?
No, that's fine. The thing about it is that the reason it starts at 16 is because any year before that, then they're all going to be considered underage by the old plan,
Oh, so a 15-year-old can have sex with a 1-year-old?
No. A 15-year-old
That
could
doesn't
have
sound like
sex
a
with
good system.
no. A 15-year-old could have sex with a 16-year-old, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter anyway, because that's no one would even have a problem with that anyway. Even on the old plan, no one would have a problem with a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. You know?
On the old plan.
Yeah. Now
The worst plan, the worst system.
but but yeah, no. I mean, I guess we should start creating a plan for or a system for underage sex, you know, like the rules of underage sex, like which, you know what I mean? Like which kids can have sex with other kids, you know? I guess we have to sort of figure that out too. Obviously, a 1-year-old and a 10-year-old, that ain't gonna work, you know?
Well, I mean, I guess the real question, I mean, yeah, we've got to start asking every child how many pubes they are, just have how many pubes they have, and just keep track. Just
Right.
yeah.
I
That's
have,
the only way to do this.
We need a pube database.
Yes.
yeah, there's got to be a pube app,
Pube app.
you know, puber.
Puber.
And it knows how many. I bet, you know, iPhones are going to be so advanced or whatever they are, you know, in the future that, you know, now they can scan your retina to like lock, but they're going to probably be able to know more about your health. You could probably touch your thumb
it tracks
to it.
how many steps you have. Like, why can't it track how many pubes you have? It's
Yeah. Why can't it track
similar
that?
technology. Yeah.
I can switch gears again if you guys want, because I did.
Well, I okay, if you want to switch gear, here's the thing.
You want to wrap this up, the consent thing?
Okay, the consent thing is, I think this is a cool plan, and I know that some younger people, maybe in their early 20s, think, hey, when I'm 18 or when I'm 21 even, I should be able to do whatever I want. You know, I'm a grown person. I'm just saying, look, if you're 22, you could be with anybody up to 30, and it's fine. So just like chill out, you know, just wait till you're 25, and then you'll be, you know, making better judgments. I also think 25 could be the age for smoking and any, you know, legal, any drugs and alcohol too. 25 is the age for all of it, you know? All right, I got to go to the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, I really have to go. I'll be right back though.
Okay. Go ahead.
You guys hang out. Okay.
Yeah, we'll hang out.
Yeah, we'll hang out. I was going to mention this thing, but I'll wait till Brent gets back.
I'll be able to listen. I'll hear you. I'll be able to hear you. So just, you know.
Well, go ahead. We're waiting.
Okay.
Are you peeing now? Is that what's happening?
Are you recording from your toilet? What's happening? I'm so confused.
Yeah, this thing happened to me last week. I thought was pretty funny and like oddly disturbing, but you have an iPhone, right?
I do have an iPhone, yeah.
You know how you can like heart stuff, you know, like a text message. I was helping out with this photo shoot, and I said, you know, I had the number of like an organizer from the shoot. I won't say, basically someone, they were like, here's the number of so-and-so, like production person. I was sort of like, I'll be there at, I don't know what I said, something generic, like, I can show up before, you know, at 3:00. Say that's what I said.
Right.
This person that I don't know I'm not sure if I had their name even. I just know that they were like a coordinator. They hearted it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I showed up to the set, and I only know a few people, and I think I met this person. And then like a few minutes later, and I didn't have their name in my phone. It was just like, you know, 213
right, just
XYZ, like whatever. It was just like the number. Then it said 213 XYZ PDQ removed a heart.
Whoa.
I'm like, what the hell? That was cold. I'm like, what did
Wait,
I
just
do?
based on your interaction, like you didn't.
It was like, hey, I'll be there at 3, and then it was like 213 XYZ loved a text or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I go there, I kind of meet everybody, and I wasn't sure which person this was. And then a few minutes later, I look at my phone, and it was like 213 XYZ removed a heart from your message. I'm like,
now that's interesting.
That is a ruthless
like,
move. I'm like, what did I say?
Ruthless.
And then I'm like I'm thinking like, what did I say that made them remove a heart? You know, I thought we were all
devil's
friends.
advocate, maybe it's just like the heart was to acknowledge like, well, I'm excited for you to show up. And then once you showed up, it was like, well, he's here. Like, I need my heart back. Like he, like, the anticipation's gone. Like he
doesn't
proved
make
himself.
any
He's got to give the heart to somebody else.
Yeah, you only have so many hearts.
You have you have unlimited hearts. There's no reason.
Okay, here's what it could have been, Doug. They might have accidentally hearted it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if you want to click on something, I'll notice that you want to click on something because you want to, I don't know, copy and paste it or something like that, and it accidentally makes that happen. And maybe they thought, oh, I didn't even mean to do that. I don't, maybe they even thought, I don't even normally do that kind of thing, put hearts on stuff. Sorry, that was an accident. And then they just realized that they had done that and they took it off.
The way I read it was, okay, I hearted this message. And then once they met me, they were like, oh, well, I got to make sure he knows that this heart isn't anything more than a thumbs up. So I got to, I got to make sure he doesn't think that I'm like trying to like give him a heart. You know what
Was
I'm
it a
saying?
girl?
Wink, wink.
It was a girl?
I mean, that's interesting because like the worst case scenario
But
is that, like,
I was not flirting with anyone. I was like super nervous. I'm like, hi, I'm Doug.
right. I mean, maybe that was
Maybe they're like, this nerd? Oh, hell no. That hurt.
No, right.
Bad.
He's not even flirting with me. I bet he doesn't even know my name. It's
Yeah,
just
he's not even
numbers in his
flirting
phone.
right now. I'm
Yeah.
taking that heart back. Forget this.
It's kind of mysterious, man.
I have a couple friends who react to everything in text with exclamation points, and I never know what they're saying with that. You know, like it's more confusing than a heart, because a heart is just like, okay, I appreciate this, I like this, but exclamation point is just like, I'm always just like, are you excited? Are you mad? Like, I don't know what, and they do it for everything, and they're very emphatic, I guess, but it's confusing.
I guess it just means high energy, or just the energy level is high. So it's up to you to decide how they felt about it. But whatever it was intense.
Right. Well, it's like I'm ordering pizza. And they'll be like exclamation point. It's like, okay, pizza is good. Yeah.
I've been getting into the exclamation point, but I don't do it on everything. I do it on targeted. Somebody sends me something like wild, like check out this link. That's an exclamation point. Where it's like, whoa.
Right. Wait a second, Doug. You're saying you employ the exclamation bar only sometimes?
I don't like to even do that kind of thing.
In certain cases.
And I don't want to be clogging up someone's phone to have them look at some pointless little heart or exclamation point. But once in a while, if they send me something wicked, I got to be like, damn, click, like I see you and I appreciate that link.
Well, I see a missed opportunity for you, which is as soon as that heart disappeared from your text, hit him with the exclamation point. I have to say, what did I do?
You kind of can't.
Huh?
I can go back to that. I should have went back to their previous thing where if they said, hey, this is so, if they said anything, I could have hearted that, then removed that heart.
An obnoxious thing I do is like in text threads, if no one reacts to a joke I write, I will write haha on my own joke.
I do that too. I hate when people don't react, because sometimes I got good stuff and I'm like,
exactly. It's like,
I just
nothing?
dropped this like nuclear bomb right here and no one's saying shit. Haha.
Right. I'll haha myself. I know
I do my haha. Yeah,
I'm a professional at this.
You got to do that.
You know what I'm confused by is like how to react when people post sad shit on Instagram. Because you're like, I don't want to like this that your dog died or whatever. Like, I wish there was shit? I wish there was like a secondary, like, I don't want to like this, but I want to be like, God damn, that sucks.
Well, they do have that now on Facebook. They have different reactions that are not just liking something.
We're not using Facebook though. We're all over the gram. Right?
We're just using the thing owned by Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. Twitter just has likes too, right? You can only like it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you got to do, Joe. You got to like it. And then in the comments, do the heart. Right.
Or be like, my like is a dislike of this event, but I like you. And just like a long explanation explaining why I liked it.
Yeah, so they notice it, and then they respond to you. Then you like that. It's because it's about you.
Exactly. I want to make it about me.
You gotta make it about you.
I got some other topics to get into if you want to change the gears again, but
Um,
Can we circle back?
yeah,
to
we
this,
could change
kids
gears
having
again. I mean,
sex?
should we interview Joe? I kind of like don't even want to interview Joe because Joe, you've probably been on Poundcast before where people are
no.
like,
I don't
we're
think I
just,
have.
when did you, I know, I'm not saying Poundcast, I'm saying like podcast,
Podcast. Okay.
where they're like,
You've been on other
where,
podcasts before,
you know,
yeah.
you've been on other podcasts where people are like,
Yeah.
where'd you start comedy? And
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we can get into that, which I find interesting.
Everybody
feel
knows
like-
Joe is funny and he's a comedian and he's all over the place, you know.
Yeah, we did a show the other day,
Right.
and you had some bits that I thought were so good, but I don't even want to bring them up because, you know, people got to go live and see it.
God goes. But I found that show strange. I had to leave, but I'm curious how you did, because the show we did, they gave every audience member like a cooler full of free weed. So everyone was just like very high, and it wasn't like they were not appreciative or not having a good time, but they were reacting very strangely. It was very like,
It was
a
a tough crowd. I'm going to be honest with
Yeah.
you. It was a tough crowd. I went last, and, you know, I just played a bunch of, you know, obnoxious sounds, and I did fine, but yeah, it was still kind of like, I didn't want to look at anyone in the eyes in the crowd. I just sort of did that thing
Yeah.
where I'm like, you're sort of like looking at walls in the distance. and
Right.
It
I
seems
guess,
like you're
yeah.
looking at the crowd.
So imagine if you only had to look at a basketball hoop in the back. That's the goal, right?
That'd
I
be
just
cool
focus-
if you had
yeah.
it. What about this? If a comedian hires someone to like be your like, you know, just in case the crowd's bad, you got a guy back there and he's like bouncing a ball and he's like, and he like bounces it hard when you do a joke, even if the crowd is like stoned and they're not reacting, he's back. You look at him.
He's back
like,
there. He's like, yeah, he's giving me the cues. He's letting
bouncing.
me know.
Yeah, you got to have your guy back there. You got to have a whole.
You know what's crazy about this whole idea is that this is not dissimilar from how I acted in the Good Place writers room. I had a Nerf hoop set up on my office door.
Oh, really?
And I would just shoot and dunk on it all day long while we like pitched stories and jokes and shit.
that's
So I
funny.
basically did this all day long.
That's so funny. And did you ever feel like there was a correlation between you making baskets and a joke that you might have come up with?
I definitely feel like I was shooting better when like things were rolling. If we were stuck on something, I was like, I guess it was so quiet that it was a bit weird, and it affected my shot. Yeah.
Is that your most favorite writing job that you've had, or did you had more? Did you enjoy other ones more?
That one was very fun, but it was very difficult. I think nothing's gonna beat Parks and Recreation, just because that was like everyone in that room and on the cast was just like a comedic superstar, you know.
But you were higher up, right, in the Good Place, right?
Yeah.
You
That's
were like
also
a higher-
probably
you
why
had a-
too. Yeah.
You had a producer role in that, right?
Yeah, nothing was expected of me at Parks and Rec, so I was just chilling.
Uh-huh.
What is it like? I mean, I think our listeners might want to know, like, what is it like in a writer's room on a show like Parks and Rec? What you
on a
come
network
in
show,
the morning,
on a network show, yeah.
or the Good Place? Like, what?
Right.
How does that work?
Those are two different experiences. I got to Parks and Rec like pretty late in its run, like I was there the last 3 seasons, so like they really knew what they were doing by then. Like the show, it didn't write itself, but they certainly like, it was just like a well-oiled machine. Like they just knew what stories would work and stuff. So it was like it was pretty effortless compared to other jobs I've worked on. But I think we did like 22 to 24 episodes a year. So it was like a grind, just like creating that much shit. And then Good Place was like a very complicated show, but we only had to write 13. So, you know, it was half the workload, but we were there just as much, just because it was like so hard to write. But you're just sitting on couches mostly and like eating chips or cereal and talking.
But how do you write like a
Go ahead.
story? Because like I've been in writers' rooms, but it's mostly like, you know, Eric Andre show, Tim and Eric kind of stuff, where it's like, you know, it's not such a narrative thing. How do you come up with like you know, the stories together like that, or do you just come up with these like how do you break up the day? Do you do like days where it's like you go over the script and you add jokes, you punch it up? or how does that work?
Yeah, like early on, you spend the first few weeks kind of just figuring out the broad strokes, like where you want to see the storylines for like each character, and sort of types of episodes, like certain events that should happen with those characters, like so and so should get married, or you know, for the good place it was like, oh, they should go to the bad place or whatever. And then so once you know the broad strokes, that you can go in and start pitching like specific episode ideas. And then once that's done, then you start breaking those episodes into 3 acts and stories, and someone goes off and writes it. And then towards the middle of the year to the end, you spend the whole time just like, yeah, punching up those episodes and trying to.
So when you see the credits and it says like written by, and it's just like one person, it's clearly not just that one person, right?
Oh, no. The written by is almost always, I mean, different shows work differently. And like, I know for like drama shows, like shows like The Good Wife, like it is very much like, oh, that one person wrote that whole thing. But for comedies, it's like that credit is usually the person who wrote the first draft of that episode before it got punched up.
Well, that's the question, is how, but yeah, so that's their episode, sort of, right?
It's their episode, but it's,
how many episodes does a staff writer get where they have to write the first draft of it?
I mean, yeah, it depends on the show, right? Like Good Place had 13 episodes, so it worked out that basically everyone got one episode. That's how many people were in the room. Yeah.
And so that's the one time when you have to sort of sit at your computer and just do a lot of writing, a lot of typing.
Yeah, you go, you get a week off, so you get a week to, work from home or go somewhere, and then you come back after a week with a completed draft. Yeah,
right. And then after that, who's punching? I know that everyone's punching it up, but who's doing the typing and stuff?
Well, who's looking at that, and who's looking at? Is there the showrunner looking at that?
Showrunner, yeah. Again, it depends on the show. The showrunner, at least for the shows I've worked on, he does a pass. He or she does a pass. Cleans it up, puts in their own jokes, and then that is the version that the rest of the room reads and works up. But the actual typing, it depends. Like a lot of the time when Mike Schur left the room, I would be at the keyboard, which is nerve-wracking because I'm a slow typer and I misspell a lot of things when I type, and especially when like a room full of people who went to Harvard are watching you type, it's kind of scary. But yeah, and then obviously a lot of the typing work and the organization and stuff, that's all like the writer's assistant and script coordinator, and those people do like so much work behind the scenes. It's crazy.
Do you ever find that some of these first draft scripts that come in, is anybody just really bad at just the formatting and stuff? I mean, are there people who have no idea how to format a script? And then two is just full of typos and grammatical errors and things like that.
Well, I've never really experienced that, but I mean, there have been certainly, like when I got hired at Parks, I had never really written on a show like that before. So I was kind of like out of my depth a little bit. But it's sort of like you can learn, it's much easier to learn how to write in script format than it is to like learn how to be funny or whatever.
Can bombing in the room cost you your job?
I was about to say it should. I mean, I've never experienced that. I've been lucky. I've only worked on like good shows, but like, yeah. I bet it's brutal though. If like you're just like not.
I mean, if you pitch 3 jokes in a row and they do not get any laughs in the room, are you out of there?
No, I don't think so. No, but I mean, there is a thing though. It's like there is a balance between talking too much and not talking at all. You want to like pick your spots when you think you can be helpful.
What was like? You don't have to answer this if you don't have anything, or if you don't want to say it. But any like crazy thing go down in the writer's room? Anyone just rip a gnarly fart?
Oh yeah, actually.
Or did anyone like have a big like breakdown and walk off? All pissed
or did
off?
anyone start fight, or was there any big fights?
Yeah, did the fur fly?
No, I mean, I've everything it's been pretty chill.
only work with
There
cool
was a fart once, and it was memorable because it happened. It was very loud, and the person who dealt it had all he could be was just like, "Yep, I farted." Like he couldn't. There's no reason in like pretending it wasn't him. So it
And
was.
was he higher up or lower up?
I guess at the time he was higher up. Yeah.
Oh, then he got
Okay.
knocked down after that.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
I thought he was high enough that he had the.
Oh, geez, you froze,
Oh.
Brent. Say it again.
I know I froze. I was saying that he was high enough enough that he had the power and confidence to sort of do that and feel get away with it.
Actually, I had a experience the first season at Good Place where I before I got to work in my closet, a vape pen exploded in my drawer, and so I like cleaned it up and then drove to work, and we were like, a couple hours later we were working on a story and I was pitching, and as I was pitching I was like, this is stupid, I'm dumb, I gotta go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom and I was so high because like the vape juice had like gotten under my nails or something. Like it was like a weed
Oh, it was
pen.
like a weed pen?
Yeah. And I was just like fully stoned and like didn't realize it. And was like it was like I was like completely like freaked out and self-conscious. I let everyone know like a few hours later once I had like gotten back to normal, but I just was just accidentally very high for a full day of work.
That happened to me once too when Duncan Trussell gave me some like a gummy like late at night the night before, and he said it was like a Tootsie Roll, and he said, be careful, take like a tiny little bit, like a quarter of the Tootsie Roll, and I just kept nibbling on it and it didn't really do anything. This was many years ago when I was an idiot, but more of an idiot than I am now, but it didn't do anything. And then I woke up from being high.
I had the exact same experience in San Francisco.
Like,
Reggie Watts gave me this was a Jolly Rancher at like a karaoke bar. So I'd already been drinking and I just took it and fell asleep and then woke up 9 a.m. like higher than I've ever been and had to get to the airport.
I woke up like as high as I can ever imagine, and just from deep sleep just to like boom, like sun was coming in. It was like 6 a.m. and I had to go to work on the Eric Andre show at like 10. So I'm like, I got like 4 hours, and I was just like pacing around my house. And I remember like riding my bike to work and just like waving to my neighbors. I was just like completely like euphoric. I was like, hi neighbors. Everyone was like walking their dog. I was like in a cartoon or something. But then I got to work like all worried that they're going to know. But then by then it kind of wore off. But like, that was just so bizarre being woken up by.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling.
It's a terrible at the first. Yeah, it started off terrifying, but then it kind of got fine after a little while.
That's a nice. I mean, like I feel like that's a good environment to be stoned in terms of writing rooms. Like you're.
Luckily that was when I wasn't going to edit, so I was kind of my own little office.
Oh, great! You're in your own zone. I had to go through TSA in that state, and I was not chill. I was very scared.
Someone on the Discord asks, I wanted to know if you all have ever gotten extremely lost and how you made it back. It happened to me recently.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Nothing's coming. No, we kind of have to wrap it up in a few minutes, but if that's not a good ender, we can end on something else.
Well, I have a whole thing that it's a bit I kind of want to do for stand up, but maybe you guys can do input on it. I don't know. We can end on that. I don't know if you want to do that.
Let's end on that. I'll think about that getting lost thing.
And I'll think about the getting lost thing while we're doing that. But anyway, here's my thought is that, you know how women, not just women, but men too, they will do what is known as duck face when posing for a photo,
like this.
Right. So, or something like that, whatever. They kind of pucker their lips out in such a way that I guess
I think it makes their
resembles a duck.
cheekbones kind of like.
Yeah.
See?
Right. So it's called duck face. And I was thinking about what are some other animal faces just to spice it up a little bit or add some variety, so that they don't just have to rely on the duck face that these people who want to look more attractive can do. And I already thought of one of them, but maybe you guys can help me think of some other ones that I can help, propose to the people, to these photo op people, So one of them I thought of was squirrel face, which is basically, you want to look attractive. You're on the red carpet or whatever, and you're getting your picture taken by paparazzi. You kind of go like this. You just blow your cheeks out like this, and you put your teeth out like this. And you
That's good. It's
Yeah, I think
it's-
you're on. I think you're onto something, Brent.
if you want to see that, youtube.com/the Poundcast. But
or
so
not. I mean, you've
that's
seen squirrels before. He made a squirrel face.
I made a squirrel
very
face,
good
but-
one. Yeah.
and people are gonna think, oh, she looks hot, that's whatever, and it's like, oh, she or he or whoever did it, they didn't just do the same old duck face, so they're doing a squirrel face. What are some other faces? I was thinking frog face could be one maybe, but I haven't figured out the face yet. Or
You got to be able to bubble out your
Yeah.
neck, Actually, this is kind of it.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's similar to squirrel. You just don't show your teeth.
right, no teeth.
Yeah.
And you kind of frown. You got to pump out the cheeks, Brent. That's it. You could just do dog face where you're like,
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about something that can show teeth? Is there one like a teeth that you can what would show teeth? Dog face?
You could be like,
a hissing cat.
like wolf face, where it's like, how about this?
Yeah. That's good for a red carpet for like a scary movie, action movie. Yeah.
How about this? What is it? What taste is this?
That's like a French bulldog or something.
Oh, like pug face. Like what dogs have
Yeah.
an underbite?
Or what dogs have? Oh yeah, bulldog. Yeah. How
Mhm.
about this?
Yeah, get that underbite more.
Looking good, Joe. That looks
Joe's
good
got
on
it.
you.
I think Joe's got it.
Joe's got it.
What does a cat look like? Their face is just sort of like. No,
I
you
don't
can't-
know.
People can't really do a cat.
What does a cat look like?
They hiss, right?
You just have to have this nose. You can't really do that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you could think of pig face, but you should be able to do this face very quickly and without using your hands or anything like that. So, I mean, pig face, maybe if you tilted your head back a little bit so it looks as if you have a pig nose.
Right.
And then, you know.
Wait,
But
I
don't
got
know
one.
what a
I got
pig
one,
mouth-
Brent.
Yeah.
How about turtle face?
Oh, yeah.
They kind of have a smile, like.
Well, yeah, you're right. They do have a smile. What they usually have is their upper lip usually goes over their lower lip in a way. So it's not really a lip, but
That's
This is
good.
turtle-
I
that's
mean,
turtle face.
you nailed. Yeah, you
That's a
nailed
good look for like if the paparazzi came. Mr. Weinbach, let me get a quick picture.
that.
Snap into it.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Mr.
think you gotta
Weinbach,
like.
Brent,
Turn
act
your
like
head,
you're talking
yeah.
to a friend, and then you go into that.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I said,
Oh,
bring
Mr.
up a
Weinbach,
bigger
can I get a quick photo?
plate. Okay, turtle face. I think that's the one. That's the one to add to the repertoire. I think.
Yeah.
So you got squirrel face, turtle face. Those are definitely in there. Anything else? I feel like
Like a horse neighing, maybe. Like a.
oh no, horse face was one I was thinking about too. Actually, how could you do horse face?
I think it's more of an action shot, but
What is a camel? Camel, I feel like has a weird face.
Camel kind of looks like a. Actually, you look like there's I don't know what Joe is doing, but it looks animalesque. Animalesque.
some sort of primate. I think.
Oh, really? I didn't think. Yeah, I
I
guess.
think like a monkey, maybe.
Oh yeah, all right, okay. Yeah, monkey face. Actually, that's pretty good, Joe. That looks pretty
Thank you.
good.
I mean, I don't have to do. Sadly, I don't have to do much.
Mr. Mande, Mr. Mande, Mr. Mande, real quick photo for people.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Look, we got to wrap it up. I kind of.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, and then we're gonna go.
We'll wrap up the main show. Thank you.
I've got
for
other
listening.
topics too for the next.
Yeah, we'll
After
keep
Dark.
talking in the After Dark with Joe Mande. Joe, thanks for being here.
Of course, my pleasure.
Do you want to promote anything? Do you have anything? Anything? Social media?
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram. I just would like to promote that I have merch on my site that I'm very excited about. I made full size. I designed an American flag that has 69 stripes and 420 stars, and I made full size flag to put on a flagpole, and they're beautiful. So I just want to get that out.
Holy shit! Where's that at?
That's at joemande.com. You can get it.
Why is there that many stuff on it?
Just because like they're important numbers to me.
Oh, I get it now. I get it now. I get it now.
That's awesome.
For some reason, it didn't register when you said that because the way you said it. You said 420. And anyway, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah. It's a 42069 American.
Got it. I got it. I just didn't even.
It's like the ultimate American flag. It's like its maximum potential is there.
Oh, there we go.
And I made a bunch, and they're I just really want people to buy them and put them on a proper flagpole and just confuse their neighbors. That's my dream.
That's pretty cool. 69 stripes.
Yeah.
Support some of this troops bumper sticker. I like that.
Here's an idea.
Okay, good merch here. Okay, good merch. I'm in.
Here's a quick idea.
IBS awareness ribbon pin.
Here's a quick.
I'm into it.
Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll talk about that in After Dark. Joe Mande has a crazy story about bowel related. We'll talk about that later, though.
Oh, hundreds of
okay,
them.
thank you.
What I'm talking about, right?
Let's wrap this up. Thanks, Joe, and we'd like to thank our squad, our Poundcast team, Jack Birch, Chloe Bonilla, and Jackie Montana. If you want to keep listening, just subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Poundcast, and we'll see you next week on the Poundcast. Peace. Talking.